Hello everybody, my name is Robert and I'm going to help you so you could learn to update your Ubuntu system, okay? And this is especially for all my students with their workstations that I built for you and for anybody out there on the internet. It's a good idea to keep your system updated at least once a day, or you could do it 10 times a day if you want to. It's really easy to do. And this is how you do it. First, you need to press the Windows button on your keyboard, and that is also known as the super key in Linux. And you're going to go ahead and type in UPDATER. Or you can just type in UP and you can see it there. Right here it says software updater. I'm going to type in updater and you can see the software updater. Click that once, and I'm using Ubuntu 15.10, and I know my students are using the 16.04 LTS. Almost the same thing. I just haven't upgraded my Linux yet, and I'll do that in a little while. You see, I use USB external monitors, so those drivers haven't been made yet for the newer version yet. But almost everything's the same. You're going to click on update, and it's going to say software updater. Now, if you have a lot of things installed on your computer, as I do, the more you install, the longer it will take to update. So it's a good idea before you do this to make sure that you have your VPN on. And why do we have our VPN on? Well, you know, in China here, unfortunately, they will block the access to the different FTP servers randomly. So you might not be able to get access because everything that you install, they keep their own updates, and Linux goes out and checks for those new updated versions. And China might just say, well, hey, we're not going to let the people in China go to that country today, or not go to that server today. So it's a really good idea that you have your VPN on before you do this update. I'm going to pause the recording here and let this. Oh, and before I pause it, the more software you have installed, it will say checking for updates. A little bit longer, so just go ahead and wait for that to finish a little bit. Now you might see it says failed to download repository information. That doesn't mean you can't check it. That just means one or two things in your update they couldn't contact the server, so maybe you need to remove those lists. But you can go ahead and click on OK, and even if it fails to download one program, that doesn't mean that there might not be other updates. Now, right now on my computer, it says the software on this computer is up to date. Yours, you might have a chance to say update, or you could click on the button that says update now. Unfortunately, I have no updates to show you right now. But after you click on that, it will ask you for your password. And make sure you enter in your password in that window. Click on OK, and it will update. Now, I'm going to show you some settings really quicker, some important things. If you click on the Ubuntu software tab, it's very important that your download from, I suggest if you're in China, the main server or the Hong Kong server. Don't use the Chinese server because it's not secure, and you know there could be a lot of backdoors, and those kind of things happen in China a lot. Hong Kong server is very fast if you're living in China, but the main server is great. But remember, you're going to have to use a VPN, just like using the internet anywhere in the world if you want to see something outside of China, right? But I definitely would not recommend using the Chinese server because the software could be easily tampered with, and you want to get the real deal, right? Also, on other software, yours might look a little bit different. I have unsupported updates. That means I'm taking the testing software. You probably don't want to have that because you might get some software that has problems. So for stability, you might not want to have that checked. And over here on additional drivers, depending on your system, you might have some options here. First of all, make sure that you're using the processor microcode former for Intel CPUs. Make sure that's checked. And for your graphic card, now I'm using, you can see here it says open source tested. I'm using the open source tested just because I have some special drivers for my USB screens. But if I was not using those USB screens, I would go ahead and click on the proprietary driver. Now you might not have that option in Ubuntu 14 because in Ubuntu 14 they use a different driver, but this might be a choice for you, and the proprietary driver means you'll get more hardware acceleration, which is a good thing, but not for the USB monitors, what I'm using. So right now mine's using the proprietary. If you change it, click on close, and any changes that you do, it will ask you again to update your software again. Now I recommend that this be done every day. A couple times a day doesn't hurt, and keep everything fresh. And this is Robert, and if you have any questions, please send me an email or write a question in the comments, and I'll be happy to get back to you. And I'll see you guys later on. Have a great day wherever you're at. Thanks. Bye-bye.